I felt the first crack in my composure when my mother stepped up to the microphone. The auditorium still hummed with applause from the last graduate, the air thick with sweat, pride, and cheap perfume. My son stood in his cap and gown, searching the crowd for my face, and I forced a smile, steady, unshakable, while my parents walked toward the podium they had no business approaching. My mother cleared her throat. "We're proud of our grandson," she began. Her voice wavered with that practiced tremble she used whenever she wanted something. Sympathy, control, center stage. "And we have an announcement. We've decided his college fund will be better used." I knew the words before she said them. For his cousin, Ethan. My nephew. Their golden boy. Their replacement for the daughter they never wanted. The murmurs rippled fast. My son turned toward me, confusion shadowing his smile. And beside me, my husband let out a low, amused breath. "That's funny," he said loudly enough for the microphone to catch. "Because we moved it last month." The room froze. My parents stiffened. Then they began to yell. And I thought, finally, let them scream. They had no idea they were already too late. I used to believe my parents loved me, or at least tolerated me enough to pretend. When I was younger, my mother would pat my hand and say I was the responsible one, the child who didn't need attention. My father was quieter, cold in a way that felt like punishment, though I could never trace the offense. But when my sister had Ethan, everything clicked into place. They showed me what love looked like. It was just never meant for me. The first time they suggested dipping into my son's college fund, just to help with Ethan's private school, I laughed it off. But their eyes held a hunger, like they had finally found a child worth investing in. A grandson, but not mine. Blood used to mean something to me. Not anymore. I noticed the shift 2 years ago. Phone calls that ignored my son's milestones but celebrated Ethan's spelling bee wins. Money borrowed from accounts where their names never belonged. My mother crying about her financial stress while wearing a new diamond necklace. My father signing papers for my sister's second car. Then, one day, a letter that wasn't meant for me. A bank statement addressed to my father that listed an attempted withdrawal from my son's education account. One only I should have access to. My father had tried to impersonate me. Calmly, I folded the paper. I remember my fingers didn't even shake. My husband looked at me across the kitchen table. "We're not reacting to this," I said. "Not yet." He nodded. He knew the edge in my voice. The one that meant I wasn't hurt anymore. I was planning. The first step was quiet. I moved the college fund into a new custodial account with stricter access controls. Then I opened an entirely separate trust, locked, sealed, and legally untouchable, and placed the new fund there. The second step was legal. We hired a lawyer who specialized in financial impersonation and potential fraud. Nothing dramatic, just a subtle notification sent to my parents about an ongoing review regarding attempted access. Their panicked calls went unanswered. The third step was personal. I stopped giving them updates about my son. No pictures, no stories, no access. Their only connection to us became the idea of money they still believed they could control. And the final step was patience. Because I knew my mother. She couldn't resist an audience. She would wait for the biggest moment, the grandest stage, to stake her claim. She didn't disappoint. So now, as the graduation lights buzz overhead, and everyone turns to watch this family unravel, I simply stand still. My mother shrieks, "What did you do?" My father jabs a finger at me. "You had no right." My husband steps forward, voice calm and clear. "We moved the money because you tried to steal it." Twice. Gasps. A few murmured curses. My mother sputters. "We were helping Ethan. He needs support. He has his own parents." I say quietly. My voice doesn't rise. It doesn't need to. "You tried to take my son's future. You lied. You manipulated. You stole. And you thought I'd stand here and let you announce it like a gift." Silence. The auditorium holds its breath. My parents look at me like I'm someone they don't recognize. Maybe I'm not. My father tries one last attack. "We deserve..." "No," I snap, and the word cuts clean. You deserve nothing from me. And as of last month, you're legally barred from touching anything that belongs to my son. There's an ongoing investigation. You should check your mail. Their faces crumble in real time. Shock, fear, dawning humiliation. My mother finally whispers, "You wouldn't." I already did. They stumble out of the auditorium under a rain of whispers. I walk to my son and pull him into my arms. He doesn't ask for explanations. He knows I protect him, always. My husband wraps an arm around us both. I feel relief, not triumph, not vindication, just the clean quiet that comes after a storm you refuse to run from. My parents taught me early that love from them had conditions, expectations, costs. My son will never learn that lesson. I made sure of it. As we leave the ceremony, cap and gown swaying beside me, I glance toward the exit where my parents vanished. For the first time in my life, the space they leave behind feels like freedom.